going to be performing an installation of the Dynojet CMD on this 2009 model Genesis coupe. What you're going to receive is your Dynojet CMD box, the plug-and-play harness, and the only tool that's going to be required is going to be a 10mm socket. The installation is very simple. We'll remove a few components of the vehicle just to get the installation started. First thing is going to be, of course, remove the negative battery post off the car, this coil and injector cover, and this fuse box cover over here, and that's all the actual parts you're just going to have to take off, set off to the side. Okay, installation is simple. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the negative battery post. This is to ensure you don't short anything out on the ECU while doing the installation, because you're going to be unplugging some of the main connectors. Next thing is going to be this engine cover. Basically it covers the coils and some of the main harness for the injectors. Set these up aside. I usually put these parts in my pocket so I don't lose them. Next thing is going to be this cover here, fuse box cover. Just set this off to the side. Take this off, set it off to the side. Next thing is we're going to ground the extra CMD to is going to be this ground lug that's on the driver's side strut tower. Just go ahead and loosen that up and take it off. Hang there, doesn't necessarily need to come all the way off. Now we're going to go through and disconnect all the plugs on the for the sensors that we're going to be using. First one that's really pretty much easy, right in front of you, is going to be your boost control solenoid, which is this tan plug right here. Next thing, throttle inlet pressure, which is located down here on this boot, this up pipe to the throttle body. Unplug that connector. It's going to be the TPS, throttle inlet, throttle position sensor / electronic throttle control. Next thing is going to be your injectors. There's going to be a clip on basically the cam side of the injector. Just going to squeeze that with your thumb, pull it up, move these hoses out of the way. Next injector, next injector. This one in the back is a little tricky to get to, but usually you can get it up with both hands. That one. Manifold absolute pressure map. We'll disconnect this one. Crank position sensor, which is located here in the back. It's going to have a little push clip. It's a metal retaining clip. You'll push that down to unplug that. And that's pretty much the connectors that you're going to be using. Next thing is your CMD harness. I'm going to go ahead and lay this out in the engine compartment where you're going to want to set it up. The CMD box is going to go in this location over here. So you can just go ahead and lay these wires and this main harness, this main plug, over to the side for now, because we're not going to be plugging that in yet. You can grab a few zip ties if you have them. You're not going to need too many to make it a clean installation, but I like to take one zip tie, and I'll just actually tie this one harness up here, just so it's out of the way for now while I'm doing the installation. This is actually going to come off when I'm completely done. It just helps hold up the main cable. Kind of move the wires around. As you can see, this is a complete plug-and-play harness. This is our harness that we'll have released in late October, most likely in the first week of November for sure, but hopefully late October we'll have this particular harness released. But you go ahead and lay this out. Go ahead and connect your crank position sensor. I like to run it underneath this back post, because I'm going to end up zip tying all this up in here to where you can't really see it. Crank position sensor. Basically, you have your male side of the CMD harness. You're going to plug into the female side. There's no through the firewall stuff. You don't have to worry about drilling any holes or anything like that. We're going to do the female side of the CMD to the male side of the car. So now we have crank position connected. We're going to kind of lay out our harness here. Kind of shove the mat run underneath here, because that's where our manifold absolute pressure sensor is at. We're going to go ahead and start connecting all of our injectors. You have your male side of the CMD and female side of the vehicle. You just take these, plug them in like that. Plug this into the injector. Next injector, which is right here. Same thing. Female side of the car, male side of the CMD. Plug that in. Plug it into the injector here. While you're here, now you can go ahead and plug in your map sensor. Female side of CMD. Correction. There we go. Female side of car to male side of CMD. Plug that in. Female side of CMD into the map sensor on the car. Next thing is going to be injector 3 and 4. Just kind of untangle this a little bit. It's injector 3, vehicle's harness, plug in. Same thing again on injector 4. Plug in, make sure I got it. There we go. We have our boost control wiring. This is going to come over here. We're going to plug this into the stock connector here. So this one goes to the boost wastegate control solenoid. Now we have our throttle inlet pressure. We're going to kind of run this down through here just so it's out of the way. So you can't really see it once I'm finished with the installation. You won't ever know it's even there. One post here you can want to go over, get to the other side of this. We're going to plug the vehicle side into the CMD. And we're going to plug the CMD into the actual sensor itself. You're going to want to make sure you zip tie up this cable because the alternator runs right underneath it. I'll usually zip tie this cable to this hose that's right here, which we can do now. This just ensures that you know it's not going to interfere with the belt and the pulley on the alternator. There. We'll go through and cut all these here in a minute. Grab some more zip tie. Now you can put these however you want once you receive your unit. It doesn't matter to us how you zip tie everything up. Next thing is going to be throttle position sensor. I run it underneath this hose. Plug in basically the male side of the CMD to the female side of the throttle position sensor. Plug into the throttle position sensor here, kind of run the existing harness back into its existing location. Next thing is grounding the CMD to where the ground location is at. Grab those screws you need. This is going to be this black one. Take it, run it through the lug, run it through the stock lug, thread it back into the existing location. Take a 10mm ratchet, tighten that down. Now, however you want to set this up, it's up to you on, you know, if you want to zip tie everything up. Next thing is going to be your fuse tap, how we're going to tap the fuse on this. To get the fuses out, you can use the tool that they supply you. Or just a pair of needle nose little fuse removal tool. As you can see, we're doing pretty much a real-time installation. This is pretty much what everybody out there is going to do. So you can correct me on the first portion of this when I said the only tools you're going to need is a 10mm. If you can't find the supplied tool that they usually give you to remove the fuses, just grab yourself a set of needle nose. You're going to pull out this 10 amp fuse. You're going to replace it with the supplied 10 amp standard spade fuse that comes in the kit. You're going to remove basically the mini to the regular size one because we have a fuse tap harness that we're going to be using. Plug that into the existing portion of the CMD. Plug that back into the stock location. Oh, there's that tool. Okay. Now, pretty much, that's the, once we put these covers back on everything and start zip tying everything up, we will plug our CMD box. Plug our CMD box in and basically clean up our install. Some zip ties and whatnot. Move certain wiring where you want it. Now, the installation is completed. There is nothing else to do with this install. We have the CMD here. We're going to mount it right here on top of this box so it's out of the way and it looks halfway decent. People can see it. Right now, all we're doing is just doing some detail work, cleaning up everything, putting the zip ties where we want to have them so the installation looks halfway decent when it's all done. If you think about it, the actual install of the product only took me probably about 5 to 8 minutes to actually install the entire product in the car. Right now it's just detail work, cleaning up everything. I like to make sure that all my wires look sanitary. There's nothing just out there. Once you're satisfied with how the install looks, you can go and take the coil cover, set it back into its stock location, kind of tuck the wires where they come out, the respective points. And add another zip tie right there. I'm going to get this on here. Take your hardware, start putting it all back into place. Take your 10mm, you can go and tighten down all these. Now you can reinstall your negative battery post. Ready to go. That is the install of the Dynojet CMD.